Rock and metal musicians have always flirted with chaos, smashing guitars, biting bats, and occasionally committing felonies. Today, we're diving into the most criminally insane stories from the world of rock and metal. Buckle up because this gets darker than a Norwegian winter. Let's start with the most infamous case, Ian Watkins. The frontman of Lost Prophets, once a pop metal heartthrob, Watkins turned out to be a full-blown monster. In 2013, he was sentenced to 35 years for child sex offenses, so horrific that even prison inmates were like, dude, that's fucked up. So much that he got stabbed twice. Second time is when he actually died, which is just this year. Moral of the story, never trust a man who wears eyeliner and says, trust me. Next up, Norway's most notorious one-man band, Varg Vikernes of Burzum. In 1993, he murdered fellow musician Øystein Euronymous. I really am not sure how to say his name. I've never knew how to say his name, but let's just say I'm saying it right. Øystein Euronymous Arseth. Please tell me I didn't butcher that, even though I most likely did. And he burned down several churches as well. He later claimed it was self-defense, but setting fire to medieval architecture doesn't exactly scream reasonable response. Fun fact, he recorded Burzum's album Philosophum while out on bail. Talk about multitasking. Next, we're going to talk about Phil Spector. He revolutionized music production and then shot actress Lana Clarkson in 2003. He was convicted of second-degree murder and spent the rest of his life behind bars. From Be My Baby to Be My Cellmate, it's one of the most tragic falls in music history. Next, we're going to talk about G.G. Allin. He didn't just break laws, he broke toilets, bottles, and human decency. Known for defecating on stage and attacking fans, he was arrested multiple times for assault and indecent exposure. He promised to die on stage, but instead overdosed off stage in 1993. Even Def was like, nah, not in front of the audience. Next, we're going to talk about Sid Vicious. He lived fast, played bass badly, and died young. In 1978, he was charged with murdering his girlfriend Nancy Spungen, but died of a heroin overdose before trial. His story is basically Romeo and Juliet, if Romeo couldn't play an instrument and Juliet was stabbed in a hotel room. Next, we're going to talk about Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry gave us Johnny B. Good, but he also gave police a reason to knock. He served time for armed robbery as a teen, and later faced charges for installing cameras in women's restrooms at his restaurant. Rock and roll may never die, but privacy sure did. Yes, he's not metal, but he's too infamous to skip. R. Kelly's decades of sexual abuse allegations finally caught up to him in 2021 with a 30-year-old prison sentence. He once sang, I Believe I Can Fly. Now he just believes in parole hearings. Next up is Tim Lambesis, frontman of As I Lay Dying, tried to hire a hitman to kill his wife in 2013. Spoiler alert, the hitman was an undercover cop. He served 6 years in prison and later blamed steroids for his decision. Sure, Tim, blame the protein powder. Most recently, there were videos circulating of him abusing his dog, I believe, and screaming at his wife and throwing temper tantrums like a toddler. I love you, you love me. So, safe to say, he never really changed. Next, we're going to talk about Gary Glitter, known for Rock and Roll Part 2, was convicted multiple times for child sexual abuse. His songs were banned from most public events, proving that sometimes cancel culture actually works. Next, we're going to talk about Richie Edwards. Richie Edwards of Manic Street Preachers wasn't charged with crimes, but his disappearance in 1995 remains one of rock's strangest mysteries. His car was found near a bridge, but no body was ever recovered. It's less crimes committed and more real-life ghost story. Next, we're going to talk about Jim Gordon, drummer for Derek and the Dominos. He co-wrote Layla, and he also murdered his mother during a psychotic episode caused by undiagnosed schizophrenia. A tragic reminder that mental illness and fame can be a deadly mix. And of course, Varg wasn't alone. Members of Mayhem, Emperor, and Darkthrone were all involved in Norway's early 90s black metal crimes, including arson, assault, and grave desecration. It was less a music scene and more a crime syndicate with guitars. So there you have it, 12 musicians who took rock and roll rebellion way too literally. Remember, smashing a guitar is cool. Burning a church, not so much. Stay loud, stay legal, and if your favorite band's frontman starts talking about sacrifice, maybe just change the playlist. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Catch you guys in the next one.